decide to do an impromptu one during the week.
That's true.
But our last scheduled Saturday live from Sri Lanka, which is bittersweet. It'll be nice to see some things back home in the States, but it's pretty cool in Sri Lanka. It's very spicy here.
It is. It's the land of spice, right?
It's the land of
That's what
spice.
it's called. Yeah.
It is the land of spice. It's called many things, but that's one of the things it's called. Yeah. So anyway, it's good to be back live with you guys. It is, of course, nighttime here, whereas where you are, it is probably morning.
Morning.
And I
Early
think
morning.
because of daylight savings time, I think we're actually starting a little earlier.
We are starting earlier. So we want to apologize, especially to our West Coast viewers like Sweet Life, for
Oh, man.
if you're going to join us, thank you for getting up early. And
What's it going to be, like 6 or 7?
I think 7 in the
That's
morning.
too
out in
early.
California.
That's
So
too early.
If you're not joining us, we totally understand. We will be back to our regular afternoon time next week.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah.
You know what? I have to do something. We disappeared for a second there, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know if it's going to work or not, what I just did, but I'm hoping so. So anyway, we should probably get into something. Bear with us, guys. It's late here. We've been we've had
an adventurous day.
We've had an adventurous day. Have you guys ever heard of Galle Fort? We're staying in the town of it looks like it's Galle, but it's Galle in Sri Lanka. And I actually don't even get that quite right, but it's like Galle. And in Galle, there is a famous fort called, and I won't talk about this for very long, so don't worry too much about it. Oh my gosh, we forgot. We've been getting
It's
well,
late,
we don't
guys,
have,
we're
we don't have
tired.
the mics on. Yeah, now they can't hear us.
Discussion.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure we're losing everybody.
Okay, guys.
All right, can you hear us?
Yeah, we're back in.
Rough start. Rough start to the live. Anyway, we're back. We're in Galle, Sri Lanka, and you probably don't want to hear about that because we're talking, usually about cruising, which we're going to talk about in a minute here. But we had an adventurous day. We went to Galle Fort. It's a very famous fort here. And what's interesting, a lot is interesting about Galle Fort, but the Dutch are actually responsible for it. Mm-hmm. I don't know all the history, but the Dutch came here during wartime, I think, and helped.
I mean, it was a war because it's a fort.
No, that's right. They came here. That area was kind of decrepit and falling into.
Well, that was. Are you talking about the tsunami thing, or?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't even talk about it because I just don't know.
It's a UNESCO site.
It's a UNESCO site.
So it does have a lot of history. I feel like I read that it went back to the 1600s, but I'm super bad with dates and remembering things. So
we mostly went there to just kind of soak it in a little bit and shop.
Yeah, we wanted to shop because we were terrible at shopping for souvenirs.
We're not good souvenir shoppers.
But we shouldn't mention the souvenirs we got because we don't want to give away the surprise.
Don't want to give away the surprises. But Sri Lanka too is not. I mean, there's stores and stuff all over the place, but it's not set up that great for tourism. When you get off on a cruise ship and you're at a cruise port, they've got all those tables, they got the vendors, they've got people waiting to just die in to sell you stuff.
Yeah.
And here, it's not really so much like that. Even though we're in a port town or we're in a an oceanside town that caters to tourism, but they haven't really caught on to the making sure they have the trinket stores, except in Galle Fort.
Yeah.
It's a very, very popular place for tourists, and we were able to find some pretty cool stuff for our friends and family. So that was exciting.
One thing the Sri Lankans are not afraid to do, they might not be quite set up with trinkets every 5 feet, but if you do express interest in anything, they will immediately, the price is twice as much, which is miraculous. So,
if you're a tourist.
You're a tourist. So we were in Galle Fort and we discovered we thought we bought 5 items, but when we left the store, we discovered we bought 7 items.
That was such BS. Now that's something you could relate to cruising for sure.
I'm sure that happens in the Caribbean.
We go to this trinket store basically, and it's a cool store. They had a lot of stuff. We bought several of our gifts there. We go ring it up, and we had 7 items or something, or 5 items.
No, we had 5 items.
5 items. We get
and
out.
We were trying to calculate it, but everything here is in rupees, a different currency, and then it's it's not, it's not like $1, $2. It's like 1,000, 2,000. And so, it just makes everything harder to calculate in your head. So we approximately knew how much it was, but didn't have exact total. And anyway, so we went up, got our items rung up, and
we did. We went up to pay for our items. We paid for the items, and I thought the price was a little high. I was like, okay, whatever. We went out. We walked a few feet, and we just looked at the receipt. Fortunately, there was a receipt. Fortunately, it was in English. And all of a sudden, we're noticing there's things on the receipt that we didn't buy. And we're like, well, come on.
And I was like, wait, how many? I picked out some items. Joe picked out some items. Like, how many did you get? How
we
many
pull
did I
out
get?
the bag. We're counting all our items, comparing it to the
We
receipt.
only got 5 things. There's 7 things on the receipt.
I had to go back. Well, yawning has already started, guys. That's a bad sign. We had to go back into the store and say, hey, guy, why is there stuff on the receipt?
He I feel like the look he gave us was like, darn, you caught me.
Yeah.
Not like, oops.
And he was like,
but-
oh, sorry about that. I don't know how that.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you don't know how that. You put it on there, man.
Yeah.
So they saw that we were tourists and they charged us for things we didn't buy. He did give us back the money to his credit. And then Emily went and spent it on
ice cream,
gelato.
so,
Yeah.
it was a good investment.
Yeah. So anyway, that's enough about our
Sri
day
Lanka.
in Sri Lanka. But needless to say, it was hot out, which was so nice. Back in Minnesota, where we usually live, it is not hot out. So we're trying to enjoy.
I have been told that we might have some of that white stuff on the ground.
It's going to be snow when we get back.
So.
All right. So cruising, but what are we we're going to promote something, right?
Well, my shirt,
Yeah.
which is, I think, backwards because we still have not figured out this mirroring setting.
Yeah.
I tried to figure out where the mirroring setting is, failed. So somebody wants to leave a detailed comment telling me how to do that. I will try to remember next time, but it is a Embrace Today shirt or a Yadat Igharbmi shirt, if you're reading it backwards.
Embrace Today, people.
Embrace Today.
Go to our store.
It's got a
get
nice
the Embrace
cruise
Today
ship.
shirt. I just want to. I don't usually humor the gross comments that we get, and it's not that gross. It's maybe an honest question because for whatever reason, cruise ships, because that's what we talk about. We haven't yet on this live broadcast, but that's what we
actually
usually
are
talk
a cruise
about.
channel. I am wearing a cruise ship on my shirt.
We are a cruise channel, and we're going to talk about cruising for the rest of this live here. But anyway, we have a comment that said, "Are you guys swingers?" Because people equate cruise ships, at least some people equate cruise ships with swingers. And there's the whole lore about how if you hang an upside down pineapple on your door, then people know you're a swinger, all this stuff. And to the point where I think all the cruise lines, for sure Carnival, has actually banned putting upside down pineapples on your door. And that's cool. And I just want to say, and this is probably not what you want to hear, but swingers are just people that cheat on their spouses. That's what they are. It's like, oh, I'm a swinger. It's like, I mean, you can call it that. You can call it adultery. You can call it cheating on your spouse with them, knowing, and them cheating on you, and I guess just being okay with it. But yeah, swinging is just adultery. I'll leave it at that. So no, we are not swingers. Proudly not swingers. Proudly don't cheat on each other.
Nope.
Loyal. Yeah. Anyway, okay, moving on.
Moving on. But we've got Hegon, I think. Sorry, my eyesight's not that good. Hegon 2005, 9 a.m. here in Chicago, and yes, snow due here and in Minnesota. We're returning next Saturday, so yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be.
If you could hold that
snowy
snow
and
off a
cold,
little bit for us, that
that's
would be
a bummer.
great.
That's a bummer. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We'll get through it. We'll get through it. We have another trip planned for a few months, so we're going to be in winter for a while, and then we're going to get out of there again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll survive somehow.
So anyway, we need to talk about cruising.
Well, you've got our topic list, but you're
I do.
not.
You should fill in some space here.
Well, I thought you were going to pull up our topic list.
I
was just throw that on me like that.
Sorry about that.
Well, our topic list today is a cruise ship secrets exposed, so I can talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
Joe has come up with a list, and I scanned through it a little bit, but I decided I'd be surprised by it, so I'm
Cool.
going to let you
That's
surprise
always
me. But there's a lot of things that we don't talk about on cruise ships, and probably some of these secrets you may have heard before. But there's some, I think there's some interesting takes on them, and just things about cruise life that you don't really think about that just goes on behind the scenes. It should be an interesting topic.
Cruise secrets revealed. Are you ready for the revelations? The first one is going to be the naughty room. That makes it sound so
naughty
and mysterious.
So bad.
And so, yeah. It's the room for smuggled goods. Cruise lines like Royal Caribbean scan the luggage for banned items like booze or irons for ironing your clothes or drones. In 2018, a passenger on Oasis of the Seas was caught with 10 bottles of wine hidden in socks. He thought the socks would get it through security.
Has anybody successfully, with socks? I mean...
When he was at home and he's like, how do I get this 10 bottles of wine on the ship? He's like,
socks.
They'll never see it through the socks.
I know there
brilliant.
are some legitimate ways to smuggle alcohol on board.
Socks is not one of them.
Socks is not one of them.
Yeah.
But that is an interesting point that they do scan the luggage, and you're not supposed to have liquids of any kind in your luggage. If you are allowed to bring 1 bottle of wine on board per adult, but that has to be in your carry-on. So
the naughty room is the crew slang for the security hold, where items are held until you get off the ship, disembarkation. You don't get fined, but expect awkward small talk. That's the word.
How many people were you going to share these 10 bottles of wine with on your 3-day weekend cruise?
Yeah. So why do you have a scooter that you're trying to get on the ship? Why do you have a washing machine? The portable washing machines. Who brought that up to us? Our neighbor. Our neighbor was watching some of our videos. I had kind of forgotten about that story in the past cruise news of the washing machines that were being brought. They were like portable washing machines, and I actually get it. Like, if your ship doesn't have self-service laundry, it'd be nice to have a portable washing machine, because that's a lot of work washing your clothes in the sink in your stateroom. But they are banned. That's another thing you can't bring on ships is washing machines. So yeah, there is a naughty room. There is a room that at the cruise port where they will hold all of the things that they find when you're going through security. And I don't know if you guys have ever cruised before. It's kind of fun to try to, but before it gets into the naughty room, there's a naughty table, and they have all the things on a table that.
Well, and that's actually also on the way out of the ship, right? If you forget to claim it before, I don't know when you get to claim it on the ship, but if you forget to claim it, they have it as you're leaving too.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is, because we walked by that when we were leaving Australia, and what did they have on that table? Do you remember? I know I've seen like water heaters on there, like little kettles.
I always notice the tons and tons of bottles of water people try to bring on.
I don't think they give you those back though.
No, they probably just toss those. Yeah, there's usually a big table of those. But anyway, there's the naughty table. It's fun to look at.
I just remembered, because I knew there was something on that table in Australia. They had a portable speaker on there. Remember that?
That's right. We were walking out and we were like, oh, they do take the portable speakers.
Yeah, they had at least one. It might have been 2 or 3.
Yeah, the Bluetooth speakers.
Yeah.
They sell them in the shop. They sell them in the fun shop on Carnival Cruises. But you can't actually.
You can't bring them on board.
You can't bring them on board, I guess, unless you spend the $80 and get it on the ship.
So.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a sneaky way to sell more speakers.
Yeah, so did you guys know that there was a naughty room where they take all the stuff from you and then you can get it back when you get off the ship? But of course, there's an awkward conversation you need to have. Number 2 is...
Oh, wait. We have a question, actually. Okay. A new commenter here, KC Topher, which I'm guessing stands for Christopher, because he says, hello there, I am Chris. What's the dangerous experience, the most dangerous experience you've encountered when cruising? We personally have encountered.
That's a good question. Not many, honestly. Dangerous.
Yeah.
Cruise ships, in my opinion, are pretty good at keeping things on the safe side.
Yeah.
What have we?
We had a dangerous experience in a port, Tahiti, which was quite dangerous.
Yeah,
we were on a scooter that only went about 20 miles an hour.
No, it didn't. It wouldn't. That was. I wish it went 20 miles an hour, and I'm not.
And we found ourselves on a highway where the speed limit was like 40 or
50.
50 maybe.
Yeah.
That was.
Let me tell that story. So we rent this scooter. So you guys know what scooters are. They're like, motorbikes of a sort. These were electric. It was a company called Hello Scoot, and they do not have a lot of power. They have a shutoff, like at a certain speed. It's hard to even describe how not great these things are. They don't go very fast. They're intended to go down the block, maybe going 10 miles an hour, something like that, like max. And we didn't know that when we rented it. We thought it was going to have some power. We thought it was going to be able to get around. And we end up, this is in Tahiti, we had plans to go to this, I think it was called PK...
18, I believe.
PK 18 beach. Famous beach, amazing snorkeling. We did make it there. The snorkeling was out of control. Good. It was a beautiful beach.
Best snorkeling there.
It was the most harrowing, death-defying ride there and back that I could ever imagine. I think we've talked about it before. Mm-hmm. But just to summarize it quickly, we found ourselves on a highway that was, like 50 miles an hour, and we were going maybe 20 when it was flat, but there was these big hills. And this thing was running out of power every time we were going up the hills. I'm a pretty big guy. Emily's on the back of it. It's not designed to handle that kind of weight. We're going like 5 miles an hour up this hill, and there's trucks and cars, people honking at us. Just a horrible situation. Like on the side, there's sheer cliff. It's not that safe. My phone at one point fell out of the phone holder, and
fortunately
landed. It was insane. We're going up this huge hill, getting passed by people honking at us. I'm super stressed out getting on this crappy scooter. I've got Emily in the back. The phone falls out of the holder because it's vibrating, and it amazingly didn't land on the highway. It amazingly lands like dead center between my legs on the floor of the scooter, and I'm able to like carefully come down and grab it. Like it was not. We had to pull over on the highway. It was just insane. So that is the most dangerous.
I think that's the most dangerous. Yeah.
Thing we've encountered, and I'll try to shorten the story here, but on the way back it was even worse because the battery was dying. Like literally, we
parked it with
3% battery life left. It had another 2 feet. It was going to be able to go. It was crazy.
That's actually I actually had to get off so that Joe could drive it the last
because it didn't have enough power
10 yards
with the
or
both of
whatever.
us on there.
Yeah.
So. And the best part about this, the icing on the cake, is the day when we rented it, we got like no instruction.
Yeah.
And the day after, or when we got back to the ship or something, at some point after the whole thing was done, we got an email from Hello Scoot, like with the receipt or whatever it costed, and it said on there the rules, and the rules said, "Do not take this on the highway."
It would have been nice if somebody at the rental counter had mentioned that.
We told the guy.
We told him exactly where we were
going to PK 18, and he didn't mention that at all. He was just like, "Okay, see ya."
It'll take you about an hour or so.
Anyway, so good question. That was fun to relive that stressful drive.
And we also have a comment about traveling home. The more difficult thing is the air traffic slowdown, canceling up to 10% or more of the flights next week. Yes, we are very aware of that, and we are going to just hope for the best because we really have no options. So
traveling is always a crapshoot. It doesn't matter if there's a government shutdown or not. That maybe makes the odds of it sucking a little bit more. But like things can. It's either going to go smooth or it's not.
I had read interestingly that the flights that they're canceling, it's like between certain hours. It's like daytime flights from 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., something like that. I don't remember the exact hours. Which our flight is actually taking off, our very last leg of our flight is taking off at I think 7:30, so technically it falls in that category. But I feel like if it gets delayed and then we arrive home an hour later because of that, like that's fine. But we'll see what happens.
So guys, I really like to, whenever I get the chance, I like to bring up movies and TV shows and stuff like that I love on these lives and kind of relate it to cruising and bringing up that.
Can I guess?
Sure.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah,
yes.
Literally one of my favorite movies of all time. Possibly my favorite movie of all time is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with the legendary Steve Martin and John Candy, the late John Candy, sadly. That is a hilarious movie, and I don't know what age group of people we have on the live stream right now, but give me a shout if you guys love Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. What's your favorite scene? There's so many classic scenes from that movie. One of my...
I mean, how can you not say it's the "you're going the wrong way" scene?
You're going the wrong way.
It's the most hilarious thing.
That's such a great scene. The scene where they're at the point in the movie where they're driving a car and the car has almost completely disintegrated. It barely runs. It's missing like all the windows. It's smoking because it's been on fire. It's like absolute mess. And they get pulled over, and the policeman asks in an earnest way if John Candy, if he feels that the car is in good driving condition, and John Candy is like, absolutely, officer, I genuinely. It's a hilarious scene, and my favorite line from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is Del Griffith, I believe, is the name of John Candy's character, and he says at some point, "I'm still $1 million short of being a millionaire." I've said that so many times to people.
I didn't actually realize that came
from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I'm still $1 million short of being a millionaire, and I am still $1 million short of being a millionaire. How about you guys? What is your favorite moment in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? Everybody loves that movie. All right, so
they need to do
on.
like a take 2 of that and call it Planes, Trains, Automobiles, and Cruise Ships.
John Candy.
We got to call out for John Candy.
Yeah, the man. So are we ready for number 2?
Sure, we can go on.
All right, we're moving on to number 2, Cruise Secrets Revealed. And this is, I never liked this one, and I'm saying this before I say it, but it is on there. There's morgues on cruise ships. People die on cruise ships. A lot of old people cruise. 22 million people a year or something like that cruise. Mm-hmm. So obviously people are going to die sometimes. Yeah. But people are always like, oh my God, there's morgues on cruise ships. It's like they got to do something with the body. They basically put the people in freezers or So every major ship has a refrigerated morgue for 3 to 8 bodies, handling 1 in 7,000 passengers who pass away mid-voyage, mostly from natural causes. In 2019, the Norwegian Epic Emergency, the captain broadcast a call for O-negative donors. 20 volunteers stepped up, saving a crew member's life via onboard transfusion setup. I didn't know that until I just read this. That's a heroic story. So if things get...
we have
an even better day.
Donut Twist said, "I hope you two have an even better day."
Awesome. That's from, I think that's a line from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I believe that's a great one. So anyway, I always hate this one. It's like, why do we have to think about morgues and people dying on cruise ships? And it's on every list of cruise ship secrets. And it's like it's the secret that everybody knows, and nobody really cares,
Yeah. I scanned the first 3, and I was like, oh, okay, it's a secret that's not a secret anymore.
It's not a secret, and I usually avoid it because nobody wants to think about death when they're on vacation. But I went ahead and talked about it this time. There it is. If you didn't know. Actually, they have things in place if somebody dies on a cruise ship. That's probably a good thing.
Yeah. I thought the even more cool thing was that they had a blood drive when there was a situation that called for it. Yeah. And I am not super wanting to talk about that more because I don't like talking about blood and needles. But it's still a very cool thing. Commendable.
It is a cool thing. It's like what's great about this world is sometimes people can be terrible, and like in situations where there's shortages, a lot of times you can get
can bring out the worst.
Worst in people. Like I can bring up a few TV references, like the TV show Jericho. the TV show. We watched that together, actually.
Yeah, it sounds familiar,
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Under the Dome. All the shows where something happens where you run out of resources. And people can be terrible to each other, and that's for sure. But on the other hand, you have the opposite side of the spectrum, and people can be amazing to each other. When there's a call for blood or people need something, usually community comes together and people step up, at least some people. And then there's the people that are selfish and try to keep it all for themselves. It's an interesting thing, but generally speaking, people step up and take care of each other, and that's a beautiful thing, even on cruise ships, especially on cruise ships, maybe.
Yeah, I think there's some good examples of people really doing good things on cruise ships.
So number 3, we're going to move on to here, and it is, this is a fun one because I have to try to pronounce a almost impronounceable word.
Oh, good, you get to say it.
I wish I could type it into the screen because it is.
Get ready, here we go.
It is triskaidekaphobia. Let me try it again. Triskaidekaphobia, which is the fear of the number 13. And the secret here is that cruise ships don't have deck 13 or 17. On most U.S. flag ships don't have 13 because of superstition, and Italian ships don't have 17 because in Italy apparently 17 is unlucky. So yeah, have you ever noticed that when you're on a cruise ship that has more than 13 decks, you don't have a number 13? I've noticed.
I've noticed that too, and I was just thinking that I had heard that this is apparently some airlines skip aisle 13, but I'd heard that before we took our flight here for some reason, and I remember looking and there was an aisle 13. So Delta does not skip aisle 13, but
that's interesting.
Apparently some airlines do.
I didn't know that actually.
I don't know which ones, but yeah.
So
allegedly.
Honestly, it can be kind of confusing if you're trying to like count the floors.
Do a ship tour, for instance.
Do a ship tour, or which is something that we do. We record, ships. Check out our channel, and you can see our ship tours. They're good. So it can be a little bit confusing, but I guess I'm a somewhat superstitious person. Would you guys out there not want to stay on deck 13 if there was one, just because you think it would be an unlucky deck? I don't know. I think I'd stay on deck 13.
The funny thing is that I think on a lot of ships, deck 13 would be, like above the Lido. Like a lot of ships we've sailed on, the Lido deck has been 10 or 11 or 12. It's like the 13 is one of the upper, above the Lido decks that gets skipped. So
that's been our kind of like one of our current strategies is staying 1 or 2 floors above the Lido deck so that
below
the Lido deck so that we can have easy access to filling up our water bottles, because we don't like to pay the exorbitant prices for bottled water. Princess just raising their bottled water prices. So anyway, so it does affect us a little bit.
Hegon just said, born on the 13th and have no fears or regrets. I mean, that would be one way to, like, why would you be afraid of the day you were born? Like, that's a good day.
It is a good day. The world got better when you were born on the 13th, friend. So, yeah, I agree with you. So anyway, I think it's pop culture, like the movie Friday the 13th. Yeah. Why did 13 become this representation of an unlucky number? Was it because of like a horror movie or something, or was it? Was it before that?
I think it came before that.
Okay.
But I think it's interesting that you kind of just mentioned it, that in Italy or in Europe, and I think specifically Italy, the 17 is the number that's unlucky. Like they don't care about 13; it's 17. And and I feel like in Chinese culture, I feel like it's a different number, although I'm not sure what number.
And I think 17 in American culture is a lucky number.
Is it?
From what I've understood, yeah. So anyway, I guess it's just a matter of perspective.
19 is the number you can never score in cribbage, I believe. My grandpa would always be like, you got 19. I'd get so excited, and then he'd laugh at me and tell me that means 0.
Because you can't get
it. Yeah. So.
And let me just go back to, I am not that big of a horror movie fan, but we brought up Friday the 13th, and certainly when I was a kid, I watched some of the Friday the 13th movies, and I just want to reflect on that franchise. So they have a guy who's wearing a hockey mask that just goes around and slashes people with knives. Specifically on Friday the 13th, I think.
Don't look at me. I've never seen any of them.
You've never seen any of those? I've seen a couple of them. They were really bad movies, honestly.
When I think of Friday the 13th, I think of the movies that it's when the mom and the daughter gets swapped. Like, that's also Friday the 13th.
Oh, really?
You know that one? I don't know.
Yeah.
They've done a few remakes of that one.
Interesting. That's interesting.
And then they go and like live each other's lives and.
Yeah, what do you guys think about the Friday the 13th franchise? Either one.
Either one.
I just like to think back to these movies of my past. The franchises. Are there still Friday the 13th movies? Is it like Friday the 13th 20 at this point?
Possibly.
You could make them forever because the actor can change because they're always wearing the hockey mask.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to number 4, which is this is interesting. So this is the Titanic safety backfire. So the SS Eastland disaster post-1912 Titanic. The 1915 Seamen's Act required lifeboats for 75% of passengers on the ship. So it was mandated that cruise ships had to have lifeboats on the ship that could accommodate 75% of passengers so that if bad things happened, they could be saved. Well, this added top-heavy weight to the Chicago-based SS Eastland, and on July 24th, 1915, during a Western Electric employee picnic outing, 2,573 aboard, many immigrants, it rolled over at 7:28 a.m. in the Chicago River, still tied to the dock. 844 people drowned in 20 feet of water. That's wild. Sad. That's sad. And I'm sorry, it was a long time ago, but whatever. But it's like, if it was only 20 feet of water, how did they drown?
Well, if the boat rolled over and you got stuck under it,
man,
it doesn't, crazy. I mean, people can drown in like a foot of water. It's like.
Yeah. So you're trapped under the ship.
Yeah. I mean, think how terrifying that would have been.
Oh my gosh. That's a horrible way to die.
Speaking of movies, there was a movie that featured that in the movie.
That's interesting.
I don't know what movie it was, but when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. From a movie.
I don't know if I knew about that, honestly. That's crazy. So because of the mandate for these lifeboats to save lives, with horrible irony, it killed.
I'm guessing what happened is the boat was retrofitted. You know, now these days all the cruise ships are designed with the lifeboats in mind, and they're like very specific about where they put them. But in that, the boat was probably built, who knows how many years before, and they just were like, okay, well, here's where we're going to add the lifeboats, and they, didn't properly engineer it, and but that's just
wild,
really terrifying. And I mean, it was supposed to be a employee picnic outing. I mean, it's like, just that would have just turned to horror.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. So we have not seen any of our regulars yet, right?
No, we haven't. I think we did this too early for them.
I actually think it's because I didn't have the thing in place that shows location.
Oh. Yeah. Well, that's too bad.
It is. But that's okay. We've got some good people here today.
Yeah.
Let's see. Moving on?
Sure.
All right, number 5 is Cruise Secrets Dock Rock Cure. You're going to like this one. Did you read this?
I think I did, yeah.
Another crazy thing to pronounce here, Maldi debarkment syndrome, hits 80% of long-haul crew post-voyage, mimicking eternal sway. That's a scary thing. Filipino crew on Holland America swear by hammocks at home, swaying like bunks. One captain's log from a 2015 Pacific crossing noted 15% crew absences from dock rock. Ginger tea helps, but hammocks reset the inner ear. So,
hold on a second, because I don't want to give a shout out to Genevieve Gracioso, who just said hi and that they subscribed. So, hey, Genevieve, and
Hey,
thanks for
Genevieve.
subscribing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so you
Yes.
and me on a little bit, but especially you really suffer from, what did we used to call it, land sickness?
Land sickness. And Porter0900 just said something and then it disappeared. I don't know why it disappeared. But it's, oh, I know, because I think he said it seems like you're drunk. Maybe the algorithm made it disappear. So, but anyways, Porter agrees and has had it as well. But yeah, it's land sickness, the opposite of seasickness. It happens once you're off the ship. And yeah, I think it's like just a reminder that you just went on this awesome cruise. And in my case, the reminder lasts for weeks.
But to explain it, it is when you feel like you're still on the ship swaying around after you get off the ship. So if you've been on the ship for a couple of days, it's probably not going to happen. But we've taken a couple of, like a 2-week cruise and a 3-week cruise just recently. And after those really long ones, and especially after our Alaska cruise, when you have a lot of waves, you get off the ship, and I feel it a little bit, but Emily has really complained in the past about like, man, I feel dizzy for a few days. You feel dizzy.
Yeah.
You lay. For me, it's like I lay down to go to sleep, and I close my eyes, and I can still see the ocean moving like in my mind's eye. So apparently, what you need to do is hang up a hammock in your room. Drink some ginger tea, and you're good.
I'm sort of happy about that because I have this hammock that's like a pop-up hammock. It has its own stand and everything. And so now I'm just, when we get back from cruises, I'm just going to like set that thing up in the living room and I'm going to sleep in the hammock.
Yeah. That's awesome. So yeah, if you guys ever feel that land sickness, that sickness after you get off the ship, hammock, great excuse to get a hammock.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like a hammock?
Yeah.
And ginger tea is also good. So yeah, do it.
We have one of our most frequent questions we can answer really briefly here. Genevieve wants to know what cruise is our favorite.
Cruise line?
No, actually, the question is just what cruise is your favorite. So I'm not sure. I interpreted that to be cruise line, but we could answer both.
Yeah.
Our favorite. What was our favorite cruise?
That's a great question.
I mean, generally the cruise that we just went on is
that I think is usually our answer.
What we generally answer. And I really did like this last one that we did.
Yeah, we had a great cruise. Yeah, I mean, how are you going to beat going from Seattle to Australia?
That was really awesome.
Yeah.
It was a trans-Pacific, so we didn't have that many stops, but we had 4 stops, and we got to snorkel at every single stop. The weather was, it was a little cold on one of our stops, but the weather was honestly pretty decent for every single stop. We went to Hawaii for the first time. That was a great cruise.
Yeah.
So, as far as cruise line,
what we generally have said, and I think I still stand by, is Carnival Cruise Line. They're not perfect. They have their problems. Their loyalty program reset blows. To put it bluntly, it sucks. But the Carnival vibe is kind of the right vibe for us. It's funny because for the longest time we were like, I don't think we fit on Carnival. It's the party cruise line, this. It's not. I mean, it is, but if you pick the right cruise in the right situation, it's not really that much of a party vibe. It's just a laid back vibe.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of judgment going on. People aren't so worried about wearing the perfect outfit to formal night or stuff like that. Because that's not, some people just live to dress up for formal night. That's not really us. We like to get a little bit dressed up, but we don't go too far with it. A lot of times when we're cruising, it's just for different reasons than people might cruise on a ship like a Celebrity cruise or a Princess cruise, although those are great cruise lines as well. I'm rambling, but Carnival is my choice. You?
I agree, yeah. I think that Carnival seems like it has the biggest, like it's got a lot of options, right? If you want to have that party vibe, you can find a Carnival cruise that does that. But if you don't like that, like the Journeys cruise is absolutely not a party cruise. And, they have educational things on there. They've got a little bit different programming in terms of the activities and the entertainment, and a little bit different demographic. Generally, the Journeys ones since they're longer cruises, they seem like they're older demographic. And so I think it has a wider variety, whereas if you're on like Princess or Celebrity, it seems like it's more consistent. Like, it doesn't matter what cruise you go on, you can kind of expect the same mix of people in a similar vibe to the ship. So so it's either you love it or you don't. Whereas Carnival has more variety.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hear it. All right, so
Which number were we on?
should we start the live over and do the last half again?
It's up to you.
Sorry, guys, we're possibly calling an audible here.
We can try that. We're for some reason we're not seeing all our regulars, so we're not really sure what's with that.
Guys,
I feel like we got some misset on our
settings.
on our settings
so
here.
This is boring for you guys. I'm sorry. I think so, guys. Sorry about this, but we're gonna end this, and we're gonna actually come back on here shortly. You know, maybe we should just keep going. We've got people coming in. I don't know. What do you think? I just feel like I have some loyalty to our. Let's answer this question.
Okay. Vertigo after a long cruise is not uncommon. Had it after Alaska cruise, as you noted. My doc suggested boning for 3 to 4 days after the cruise to help prevent it. I did, and it worked for me. That's interesting. I wasn't sure if taking the Bonine or the Dramamine afterwards would help. I'm really try not to take medications like that. I don't know. That's just me. And so I haven't tried that. But I did try this last time. I had some acupressure bands with us, and I was just kind of wearing them, honestly, just as a, I don't know, not a joke, but I didn't expect it to work. I was just like, well, I might as well put this on, whatever. They kind of look like exercise wristbands, you know, like I'm working out. And honestly, it worked because I had way less land sickness after this 3-week cruise than I've had on other cruises. So I was pretty impressed with that. And I only had to wear them for maybe 3 or 4 days, whereas normally I've experienced it for like 2 weeks, not like constant, but where it's coming and going for two weeks. And so taking some sort of medicine or acupressure or something, I think is a good call.
Cool.
So
yeah, we just had, was it Craig there?
Yeah, Craig says, please continue.
Craig, I think you, just because you said that, I think we're not going to abandon ship.
Okay.
Abandon ship.
We're not going to abandon ship.
And I'll explain.
Pull up the lifeboats.
I'll explain
it's all
the situation.
Good.
We've been doing this this live for many months now. At similar time every Saturday, but we're in Sri Lanka, and so I'm actually curious where you guys are from. Because we usually have a handful, maybe 10 regulars that show up to almost all of our live streams. We have a good rapport with those guys. We have some loyalty for those guys because they've been coming to our live streams for a long time. And we're not seeing them. And I think it's because normally I have a VPN on my device when I start the live stream. So we're in Sri Lanka, and I had turned off the VPN for a reason you don't need to know earlier today. It had to do with Google Maps. So we started the live stream and we noticed our regulars aren't here. And I think it's probably because we're being broadcast
to the
a different
Southeast
region,
Asia
to
region is what we're
region.
suspecting.
So where are you guys from?
Yeah. How many of you are from Southeast Asia?
And who is this that wants us to say hi? I can't read it.
Is it S. Reilly?
S. Reilly male.
Is that the one? Because it's actually not showing the comment on mine. I don't know why. That's the other thing. I'm getting things are just disappearing on my device here.
Philip is in Florida. Okay.
In Florida.
And
watching from Tampa.
Watching from Tampa.
Well,
okay.
see, that's
Cool.
because they're a little bit later in time zone.
That could be too. They're on the East Coast, right?
Yeah, they're on the East Coast.
Yeah, it might just be because daylight savings time and we're starting an hour earlier than usual.
Yeah, so
anyway,
Sri Lanka doesn't deal with daylight savings time, so you guys all.
And thank God for that. Who can I get that says let's get rid of daylight savings time? I mean, are you guys on board? We need to get every once in a while, like you hear in the news that Congress is going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Man, I would love that. I'd vote for that. I'd vote for that. So anyway, let's get rid of daylight savings time.
So just to catch up with the questions here, Vicky wanted to know what cruise line were you guys just on, and that was Carnival. We did a Carnival Luminosa from Seattle to Sydney. And then I think T3RXSS. I feel like I should be able to say that in a different way, and I'm not clever enough to figure that out right now. But says, I would need some wise help here. How many car batteries? What? Never mind. Sorry. I thought that was a cruise question. So Philip says, going on my first ever cruise on December 13th, 5 nights on Celebrity Summit from Fort Lauderdale to Bimini.
Nice.
Doing a short cruise because I don't know if I'll get seasick too. Well, only 23% of cruisers get seasickness, so it's unlikely you have a good chance that you're not going to be in that group. But going to Bimini, that's going to be, that should be a pretty smooth ride. It generally is.
And that's a huge ship. It's got stabilizers, and that part of the ocean is known to be very chill, very calm.
Exactly.
So I bet you're not even going to notice that you're at sea. I mean, you might just feel the slightest bit of rock. But yeah, a lot of people on their first or second cruise worry about seasickness and then realize it's kind of a nothing burger. You're gonna love it, and I'm excited for you. The first cruise is just such a kick. So yeah.
Yeah.
Hello from Los Angeles, Vicky. Hey, Vicky.
And then Craig is wondering what our home base is. We're out of Minnesota.
Yep, we're out of Minnesota where it is cold. Right now we're in Sri Lanka where it is perfect out. It's like in the 80s every day. Wake up in the low 80s, high 70s. At daytime, it's like mid 80s. Sometimes gets up to 89.
Craig isn't impressed because he's from Florida.
Yeah, so it's probably great in Florida. But anyway, not to brag, but this place we're staying is awesome, and it has an Olympic-sized swimming pool that's almost always empty.
I don't understand why nobody's ever using it, except for us. We're in it all the time. So.
If you ever get the chance to go to Sri Lanka, I know that's away from cruising, but take that opportunity.
Sri Lanka it's such a wonderful country. It really is.
Yeah. All right, shall we move on?
Sure.
Okay, this one I thought was interesting for sure. Oh, actually, I kind of skipped ahead. I'm going to skip ahead to this one. So ships are... I guess I've kind of wondered before how ships are built, but ships are built like pieces like giant puzzles. Mega ships like the Disney Magic are welded from halves. Bow is made in Germany, the stern is made in France, trucked to Italy to join. The staterooms are prefabbed in Finland and then slotted in like Legos. 1,200 units for Icon of the Seas in 2024. Let's see, the Magic's 1998 weld took 72 hours. Perfect fit on the first try. 2015 Harmony of the Seas glitch, 1 block, misaligned by 2 millimeters, delaying the launch of the ship for days. So those ships are put together with extreme precision. And it's interesting that they're made, they seem like they're this one thing that's always been together, but they're made in different parts of the world and then shipped in and then put together like Legos. It all comes back to Legos. The world is basically just Legos, which is why,
So when you step on one because there's a billion on the floor.
I'm sure we can equate that to life somehow. Anyway, so I thought that was interesting. I've never really thought, I've seen pictures of ships being built and you always see these images of somebody welding or just kind of the skeleton of the ship. But I've never really thought about like the logistics that parts are made in different places and then put together and like how they're put together. But engineers are amazing people. Emily is from a family of engineers.
That's true.
And so it's kind of cool that they're just kind of put together probably really efficiently and very, very
I'm
perfectly.
Curious. So what does that say? It said the bow is made in Germany, the stern in France. That's a big chunk of the front of the ship and then the back of the ship. Like, how do they get it from one shipyard to the other? I would get it if the shell was like the outside shell was all made in one piece and then they're bringing in other sections. But do they have like a special, cruise ship cargo boat carrier that brings these parts in, how do they get them to the same place so that they can weld them together? That's
Yeah.
just, so we're from, like we said, Minnesota, and one of the big things is the wind turbines. And every once in a while, you'll be driving down the highway and you'll see this semi that's just like super long, and it's got a wind turbine blade. And a lot of times, if you are paying attention, you'll actually see 3 of them go by because, they've got one semi for each wind turbine blade. So just I'm imagining that happening in the ocean.
Yeah.
Where it's different parts of the ship.
It's crazy. So should we move on?
Well, we've got a couple questions. Sky5504 says, "Are trains built on tracks?" Which I guess that's kind of a good question. Similar
No, they're
to,
not. No,
they're not? Oh, okay. All right.
I'm pretty sure they're
Okay.
not built on tracks.
Well,
I don't know
it's-
that for a fact, but I'm guessing.
I said it so
I'm guessing
confidently.
not.
Okay.
I think that it would be more. I think that trains could be lifted up by like a crane and then set on the tracks or
okay.
something like that. Yeah.
And then Craig wants to know if we have been on the NCL Joy because they are sailing on her in April, and we have not been on the Joy. So no info there.
But we haven't. We haven't, and I wish I had. It's so exciting to get on a new cruise ship you haven't been on before. What did he say? He's going to be on it
In April, yeah.
in April. Hey man, have a great cruise, and I'm sure it's going to be great. Haven't been on a cruise ship I didn't like yet.
So the next question I have here, Hegon is asking, and I don't know if you had this on your list, but per your live title, do you know about the hidden door on the Sun Princess Deck 11 front that leads to, by cabin 11104, that leads to neat viewing area below the bridge? Princess has these doors on many ships. So I wasn't specifically aware about the Sun Princess one, but I am aware that many ships have secret decks, and generally they are, at the front of the ship, and there'll be a door that it looks like you're maybe not supposed to go through it, but if you're not supposed to go through it, it will say crew only.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if it doesn't say that, you're certainly allowed to try the door and go and see. And they're on a lot of the Carnival ships. They're on some of the Princess ships. I think I saw them maybe on a Norwegian ship. I can't remember, but I always like to look at the ships in the dock and like see who else has these secret decks. And it's really fun because you go out there and basically it's usually like right above the what do they call the place where the captain is, like the command center? I can't remember. I'm blanking on it. It has
The bridge.
The bridge, yes. So generally it's above the bridge. Like on the decks above the bridge, between the whatever deck the bridge is on and the Lido deck.
Yeah.
And you can get out in the front of the ship, and it's really cool. It's very quiet out there. Hardly anybody knows about it. So always check. I always check these days. I walk all the way down to the end of the hall and check the door.
Well, just I don't remember who said that comment, but you nailed it because that is number 12 on the list. I'll just read what I have here. Hidden bridge spy spots. Pre-2010 NCL ships like the Norwegian Pearl
Yeah, I knew Norwegian had some.
have marked spy decks, narrow walkways above the bridge for crew views. Example, 2007 Alaska Run, explorers snuck peeks at iceberg dodges. Not on post-2015 builds because of safety regulations. A 2012 Reddit thread from a Sun Voyager spotter described watching a 40-knot evade. Now drones do the spying. Okay, so yeah, it looks like older NCL ships, you're going to find those spy decks. Yeah.
And I will say on the Carnival ships, those are, if they're not on the Excel class ships, they're on the older classes of ships. So it seems like it's maybe something they're doing away with, possibly because those decks kind of ruin the privacy of the forward-facing cabins. And so they probably make the forward-facing cabins less desirable. So cruise lines want to maximize that money, so it seems like they're doing away with some of those secret decks, which is a shame because it's fun for the rest of us.
I found this. I'm going to move on to number 11 here. I found this interesting. It's really cruise adjacent, but it is a cruise ship. So, do you guys know about Scientology? I'm sure everybody does these days. Not something that I take very seriously, but. Like Tom Cruise famously is a Scientologist, and I think John Travolta famously is a Scientologist. There was a few other celebrities, and Scientology certainly has a following. They have a secret sea base, and it was built in 1963 as Boheme Ferry. They bought it in 1985 for $5 million and relaunched in 1988 as Free Winds. It's the floating headquarters for the highest level Scientologist, docked in Carrico since 1995. Has ties to L. Ron Hubbard's 1970s Apollo flagship events, events in. There was a 2008 asbestos scandal, 2019 measles quarantine in St. Lucia. The ship held 300 hosts. Anyway, just kind of an interesting fact that we don't need to spend a lot of time on, but Scientology has a random cruise ship out there that the rest of the world can't go on except for those high up Scientology. I bet Tom Cruise can be found on that ship once in a while.
Probably once in a while.
Yeah.
So it just sails around and goes
wherever the Scientologists want to go.
That's interesting.
Yep, that is interesting.
Is it searching for Atlantis? Is that?
Maybe it found it. Yeah.
So I just want to give a call out to Poodlebone, who we've seen on a couple of the last lives. So I think some of our regulars. I think it was just too early. But Poodlebone has been on the Joy. So I think it was Craig that was asking about. Yeah, Craig was asking about it. So and says that it's a great cruise, or the first cruise, and Poodlebone has been on there 2 times.
Cool.
Let's see, there was a question, and
Have we sailed from New Orleans, I see?
Yes, thank you. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, no, we've sailed from a lot of different, we've been from Baltimore, Seattle, New York, a lot of different ports in Florida,
Yeah.
3 different ports in Florida at least, and where else have we sailed? Los Angeles we sailed out
And
of.
Seattle now.
San Francisco we sailed
That's
out
right.
of. We've
San
sailed out of
Francisco is awesome, by the way. If you ever get a chance to sail out of
that's a
San
cool
Francisco,
port.
that was really fun.
Going across,
Yeah.
great views of the unbelievable views
Yeah.
of the Golden Gate Bridge. New York, unbelievable views
Yeah, that
of
was
the
fun too.
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Australia, unbelievable views of Sydney Opera House.
Yeah.
Views nobody else gets.
We woke up when the sun was rising right behind the Opera House.
Yeah.
I got some incredible pictures. It was awesome.
So yeah, the different ports are great, and I'd love to sail out of New Orleans just because I like to kind of experience all the different places. Our next cruise, which I think is another question
Yeah, actually,
on
that
there,
was there. That exactly
is going to be
was-
Galveston. So
Yep.
we're going to check out the Texas cruise port, but New Orleans, just for whatever reason, has evaded us.
Yeah.
I think mainly because probably flights to New Orleans we live in Minnesota, so flights to New Orleans are probably more expensive than most of the other
Well,
places.
then more expensive than going to Florida.
For sure.
And I think that the itinerary out of New Orleans is similar to the itineraries
Florida.
out of Florida.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I guess that'd be why.
yeah. But should we say what our next cruise is?
Yeah, sure. We're going to
Okay.
be sailing from. Where are we sailing at? Galveston.
Sailing
I
out
just
of
said that.
Galveston, yeah.
Galveston to Barcelona, Spain.
Yep.
We're doing another Journeys cruise. We've got stops. I can't remember all the stops right now because we're in.
We are stopping in the rocks of Gibraltar.
Yeah,
The
we're
Rock
gonna
of
we're gonna be
Gibraltar.
going to Gibraltar, and already the dumb jokes are coming out, and because there is of course famously the Rock of Gibraltar, but
There's probably more than
I
one
think
rock there.
any rock there is the Rock of Gibraltar, right? So we're no strangers
What if
to
the
a
Rock
bad joke.
goes to Gibraltar?
Oh my gosh,
The-
the actor The Rock.
Yeah.
If he goes to Gibraltar,
What would happen?
The Rock that's
It would be The Rock is on the rock in Gibraltar.
I love that. So
I think aren't we stopping in Bermuda? On the way over? I think we are.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we're like a night in Bermuda,
Yeah.
which we've been to before and we love.
We really like Bermuda, so I think
yeah.
because I think we were excited about that.
Moving on.
Yeah. Well, actually, one interesting thing about the Free Winds Scientology boat, Philip says, I used to work in Clearwater, which is a Scientology headquarters, and a lot of the Free Wind crew lives there. So it sounds like maybe Philip got some.
You have any
got
inside
some inside scoop on some of that stuff?
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Number 10 is another one I didn't know about until I kind of started researching this. Cows in the hold, the pre-refrigerator history of cruise ships. Cunard, what do you guys call it? It could be either, right? In 1840, Britannia carried 36 live cows in holds for fresh milk. They needed 10 gallons. They needed daily 10 gallons for 200 passengers. On 1840's Atlantic runs, passengers drank morning milk. They dined on veal by the end of the week.
Oh man!
And the cows were slaughtered mid-voyage on the ship.
Oh wow!
In 1842, a log noted that a cow birth en route. Let's see. Modern ships stock 10,000 gallons of dairy that's flown into port. So back in the 1800s, the late 1800s, or I guess 1840s.
But that's because it says there that fridge tech became a thing in 1876. So then they didn't have to
do
bring
that
the
anymore.
cows.
But can you? Things have changed. Can you imagine taking a cruise where they had to have a hold so that they could milk the cows?
And then they just slaughtered the cows halfway.
Halfway through, they slaughtered the
Just
That's some fresh meat, and that's some fresh milk. I wonder if they had chickens down there too, laying eggs.
Why wouldn't they?
That's wild. I did not know that. So you could have maybe we could start a cruise company that mimics
Back to nature
1840s style cruising, like where they had cows. So it was like the Titanic. Was that in the 1800s?
No, that was
in the 1900s.
1912, I think.
Yeah.
You had that earlier on your list.
That's wild. That's wild stuff. I did not know that ships used to carry live cows, milk them, and then slaughter them. After they were slaughtered halfway through the cruise, how did they get milk? Did they just milk them so much they stored some
they just knew that they could store the milk safely for a certain amount of time.
Huh.
And then
I guess when you got the menu for the day and veal was on the menu, you knew that was slaughter day on the ship. That's wild.
All right, so just have to read this one. What if The Rock has a drink on the rocks? On the Rock of Gibraltar.
Awesome. Taking it even a step further. Can we add to that? I don't know.
Well, I mean, if he's going on Virgin Voyages, he could have
on the rocks.
He could be dancing barefoot at the bar on the rocks on a Virgin Voyage ship, and then have a drink on the rocks.
Yeah.
While visiting the Rock of Gibraltar.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
All right. It looks like Keegan is leaving, so goodbye. Thanks for sticking around.
Yeah.
Catch you next Saturday, back to a more normal time. And Poodlebone says there is a video floating around of Tom Cruise's birthday party on the Freewinds. So.
No way. Tom Cruise does cruise around on the Freewinds. That's
why wouldn't
I didn't know. How did you guys know about that ship? I didn't even know it existed till today. Let's see here. Let's do one more. Cruise ships can outrun hurricanes. 22 knot speeds plus radar. In 2017, Irma's approach, the Icon of the Seas rerouted 200 miles south. In 2024, Hurricane Beryl, Symphony of the Seas dodged it by 50 miles. Passengers woke to calm Barbados versus stormy St. Martin. Captains use ECMWF models. The success rate is 98% per NOAA. So cruise ship technology and storm evasion is really effective.
Yeah.
And every time there's a hurricane season and things like that go on weather-wise, in the cruise news you get a lot of updates. They cancel port stops for certain itineraries and all that kind of stuff. And that is disruptive, obviously, if you're planning on going to a certain port and you're really excited about it, and it gets rerouted.
You know what's more disruptive?
Having to be in the frickin' storm.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's really, really cool, the technology and the maneuverability of these giant floating cities that we call cruise ships. So I think it's impressive. I think it's awesome, and I think that it just makes you feel safe to be on a cruise ship. You're probably going to be okay. So
I think it's pretty incredible that we hear about hurricanes, and there's always if a hurricane develops, there's always a bunch of updates on where the cruise ships are rerouting to or what's going on. But the fact that they are like so up on the game and they are able to evade, and I mean, I can't think of a story where a cruise ship was seriously hurt by a hurricane. I know there's been like rogue wave stories recently, or they happen every once in a while, but that's not the same thing as a hurricane. That's like doesn't even have to do with a hurricane.
Yeah.
So when it comes to hurricanes, like it's not really an issue. I mean, it's gonna maybe disrupt your cruise, and maybe something will happen there,
Yeah.
but you don't need to be worried about getting hit by a hurricane when you're on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
So it's very unlikely.
All right, so what do we have here? Galveston, a pretty easy port from Chris. That sounds good, man. Galveston, not for whatever reason, every time I think of Galveston, I think about the Galveston Brawl incident.
Right.
It was like 30 people all just.
I forgot that was in Galveston,
just
actually.
Fighting. Yeah, it's burned into my memory, and that is one of the more famous cruise brawls, I'd say, is the Galveston Brawl. It was a big one, and it was after.
Was it over a sports? I think I read.
I don't think I ever found out the reason. I don't know if anybody really knows the exact reason why they fought, but it's just really like they just got off a cruise vacation, and the first thing they do is fight over something in the luggage pickup area. It's ridiculous, but that was a pretty epic moment in cruise news, so it sticks with me. So hopefully there will be no brawls in Galveston. There probably won't be, but yeah, it'll be interesting to check out.
We will have our air tags in our luggage so that if there, is any problems with our luggage and brawls and anything, we can at least track our luggage.
We can track our luggage, exactly. Cool. All right, guys, I am wildly tired. I know back where for those of you that just joined in the last bit here. We're in Sri Lanka right now, so we're across the ocean, and it is dark outside. On the other side of the clock. It's dark outside, and we are exhausted. We've had a busy day, so we're going to wrap it up for today. But we are here every Saturday.
Yep.
Come back and talk cruise everything with us on Saturdays on the live streams. It's great to meet all you new people. And
once we get back to America next week, we will be back to our regular afternoon times, so you won't have to feel like you need to get up super early to catch us, and we will be awake and a little bit more alert and lively. So, although maybe not next Saturday, because I think we're going to try to make it, but we are going to be recovering from jet lag, so we might still be a little sleepy. Yeah. All right, guys, it was a fun one. We will talk to you guys again next week. Take care.